We're going to be talking about gun control and security in 5 minutes or less. So we have a natural and inalienable right to be able to protect ourselves with the best way we know how. And for a lot of people, unless you're like Bruce Lee or Jackie Chan or somebody very, very good at martial arts, it's going to be a firearm. It's going to be a firearm or a taser or pepper spray. It's going to be personal defense methods that are available immediately, because cops are minutes away when seconds count. So gun control, the only gun control that is required is to hit your target and to control the access to your firearm so that people who don't need to have access to it don't have access to it, right? And so gun control is trying to be legislated to us. And that's a infringement on the Constitution, which is the limitations we have placed upon government so that they can work to the will of the majority without violating the natural and inalienable rights of the individual. So if we have a president who left millions and millions and millions of dollars of firearms and ammunition and rockets and military equipment in a foreign country, but yet wants to remove your right to be able to defend your home and your house or yourself and the people around you, we have to recognize that there's no legitimacy in that. And when we recognize that there's no legitimacy in that, we take back our power, because there's been a lot of people who have defended themselves against assault or against robbery or against rape or against kidnapping. And this is a long one, so I'm starting the 5 minutes now. I'm going to give myself a few extra minutes here. What we have to understand is that security always happens right now. And we are maintaining our security by maintaining our awareness and our ability to respond to threats. And Uvalde Police Department showed us impeccably that we cannot rely on government to keep our children safe, right? There was nearly 400 heavily armed and armored officers on scene against one armed terrorist. That's what he was. He was a terrorist. And I think there was 17 children and 2 teachers, 2 adults that were killed because of their inaction. But yet in the Indiana Mall, a 22-year-old man eliminated the threat in like 15 or 20 seconds from over 40 yards away, even though he only had a pistol. He had no armor. He had only a pistol. And out of the 10 shots that he fired, 8 of them hit on target, and they stopped and killed the terrorist. So people could have been waiting for the police to show up after 911 calls were made, or they could defend themselves. And it does take a little bit of practice, to become proficient. And 40 yards is a very long shot for a self-defense shooting. Typically, it's under 15 feet. So most of the time, just the mere presentation of a firearm is enough to deter assault or deter terrorism. You don't even have to. It's not even always necessary that we fire the gun. A lot of times people will just give up when they recognize they're no longer in power. So that's what we're at. Hopefully, I'm trying to be within the 5 minutes, but I don't see. Oh, I got 40 more seconds. Okay, perfect. Gun control. Gun control is completely illogical because you cannot uninvent firearms. You cannot control what everybody everywhere is doing. Guns can be printed on a 3D printer. They can be made from the hardware, the department, like the Prime Minister of Japan. He was killed with a makeshift firearm, right from the plumbing section of a hardware store. So we need to be proactive instead of reactive. And when we're proactive, we can recognize solutions rather than feeding the problems. And Anyway, that's where we're at. Thank you.